win or lose, Anthony Joshua may retire after his rematch against Andy Ruiz. Ticket sales for Tyson Fury versus Otto Wallin are in. And guys, I gotta say this. Definitely lower than expected. Let's talk about it. Guys, it's your boy T that was blazing in sports. Yes, of course. This is live. I am back at it. Like a crack addict giving you boxing geekers. Every bit of this work. Come in. This is the lunchtime snack pack. Enjoy. I even got gummy bears and yums, fruit cups, and snacks in juice box. Listen, man, where to begin, where to start? Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz. Where to begin, where to start? I told you guys something mental was not 100% clear. There's something there. It may need a couple Visine drops. It is not clear. Tyson Fury fought Tom Schwartz. Turned around and fought Otto Wallin. Ticket sales are in, guys. 20,000 seat arena. Well, I gotta say this. 20,000 was not filled, my friend. Alright, guys. Let's work. I'm outside. I'm in the car. It's lunchtime. The snack pack is fucking open. Let's digest this shit. Eddie Hearn revealed that win or lose against Andy Ruiz, Joshua may just retire. And think about this, man. I told people, listen, I said, as strong as Joshua looks, as many rhymes and morale boosting and, you know, all that talk, guys. What is the name of them people that they try to get you, encourage you? I can't think of the name of them right now. But he always says stuff like, you know, listen, if you go in the gym, if you lift hard and you train and you fall and you get up, you can do it all. Right? He always talking. To me, I don't know if he's trying to convince the people or is he trying to convince himself, guys. And as a fighter like Anthony Joshua, I got to be honest. Me personally, because I know the heavyweight division, it's not as healthy as it really should be to be self-sustaining. We need as many players in the heavyweight division as possible. I personally don't want to see him retire. I would like for this guy to get his mental game right. And now we are hearing Eddie Hearn is leaking, guys. And this brings me to this point right here. When I tell people that Eddie Hearn, by making this fight in Saudi Arabia, could be cashing out, think about what I'm saying, guys. Please, just let it marinate for 2 seconds. Think about what I'm saying. When I said that Eddie Hearn could possibly be cashing out on Anthony Joshua by having this fight in Saudi Arabia, making the most money, the most bang for your buck. But honestly, this is not just dealing with money. This is dealing with a man's mental health, mental state. And you see the walls are cracking down, so you're trying to sell it. It's like this, guys. You have a car that you know starting to have some engine problems. You know the head gasket is blown on that bitch, but yet you know it still drives a little bit okay to sell it. So you're trying to cash out before it completely goes out. Eddie Hearn said it a few times. You know, basically Joshua needs to get it together. Right? In so many words, it's now or never. He is going back into a rematch with a guy that literally beat the shit out of him. And listen, this rematch is not, you know, we're not looking forward to it because the first fight was competitive. No, we're not. We're not. The reason we are looking back at this and to see if Andy can repeat, See, it wasn't like it was a close fight and Andy pulled it out by decision, or a close fight and Andy pulled it out by a good punch that Joshua couldn't recover from. No, this was a complete fucking beatdown. This went from being flipped 180 degrees in the third round to a lopsided beatdown until Joshua quit. Scrapbook Boxing, what's blazing, homie, bro? Congratulations, Scrapbook Boxing, man. I shared one of your, I think the video I commented on last. Proud of you, man. Hitting that 1,000 subscriber mark. Do whatever you need to now, man, to get everything, where you can get ads. Really good work. Very proud of you, my man. Very proud of you. All right, let's get this work in. Eddie Hearn is saying that after this fight, if he loses against against Andy, if he wins against Andy, Joshua might retire. If you're talking about retirement, that means Joshua is already talking about retirement, which means Joshua is not 100% focused for this fight. You cannot go into a fight already talking about what you may do after the fight if you win or lose. In my eyes, if you're already talking about retiring and you're in the middle of that fight and you get hit with something clean that puts you back into a buzz, I done had 3 shots, I can barely walk land, it might be a little easier to give up, because in reality, you really don't want to be there. In reality, you're like, listen, right now I'm in over my head for a minute. Hold on, what happened? What is this? Streaming, what the fuck is this? Hold on, guys. Is this working? What the fuck happened? Stream 2. What the fuck is this? No video encoder. Oh shit, we still live. Guys, man, listen, something freaky was happening, guys. This day been crazy. Frank West, exactly. Frank West was blazing. Guys, man, I'm glad it's still live. I almost crying like, what's going on with this? All right. What's blazing with your homie? This is what I'm saying, bro. Is that, I'm going to get to Tyson Fury and his ticket sales, coming to a grand total of 3 ticket sales and 4 EBT swipes. We'll get to that. But to me, the biggest thing, man, is Joshua. And I had a lot of people, that are Joshua supporters. Most of them are from the UK. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that a lot of them, when I say he got mental, listen, I've been saying it over and over. Mental. And they have been saying, no, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. Well, if he loses against Andy Ruiz, I say this. My crystal ball says Joshua's retiring. Frank West, you know what? I can almost agree with that crystal ball, because think about this. If Joshua wins, right? If he wins, he will have to either go into a 3rd fight with Andy, or face somebody like the winner of Wilder versus Fury, or possibly face a guy like Usyk, who is a little bit shorter, faster, and can move better than Andy. I don't know if he has the pop like Andy does, but I think Usyk, with his movement and being able to come in, Andy might beat, not Andy, but Usyk might beat Joshua. Joshua, it's crazy to say it, Joshua heyday in boxing as reigning #1 according to a lot of people. Those days might be done. Listen, anything can happen. Lucky charms could actually be lucky. A pot of gold could be at the end of the rainbow. Or reality might set in. Caroline, what's going on? No, he won't retire. He is going after Wilder. Okay. All right, Caroline. Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Caroline, here's the thing. Eddie Hearn, this is not me just making this up. Eddie Hearn said this, remember, that after this fight, Anthony Joshua may retire, win or lose. But I'm going to say this, if he loses to Andy, then, I'm just saying this, guys, then I can almost understand stepping away from the sport for a year. I don't think remember, I know if you guys are just jumping in, I'm about to go in. Don't worry about that. I'm going to go in. You're going to agree and you're going to disagree, which is okay with me. I don't care if you agree or disagree. Okay? I don't mind it. But Eddie Hearn said Anthony Joshua may or may not retire. This is what Eddie said. His promoter said he may or may not retire. His promoter that told him he better basically get his shit together for this fight and he better focus. His promoter, instead of pushing to have this fight in Cardiff, is having this fight in another foreign. Listen, Joshua just fought in a foreign country that he wanted to go to and got beat. And now you putting him into Saudi Arabia? The crowd won't be the same. The people won't be the same. The laws won't be the same. And now he has to deal with that. And he has to deal with fighting a man who just beat him. And he has to deal with getting over his own mental hurdles. And now they're talking about retirement. I'm telling you, sweet Caroline, I'm telling you, the sweet one. I'm telling you. I know you say that he was joking. I don't think so. If Andy Ruiz beats Joshua, which is a possibility, because the first time wasn't a fluke. The first time was something that was, I don't know if you saw my channel. I called it live. When I call fights, I don't be biased. I don't say, oh, he punched him, oh, that didn't hurt. No, I call it like I see it. When Joshua hit him with that left hook, I was excited. If you don't believe me, I just posted a mini clip on my Instagram. Follow me, whatsblazing. At whatsblazing. Follow me. Sierra F in the building. Salute what it does. Expert Genius left my ass up. AJ may retire, scared of Wilder fight. They gave him more tick than they sold. Wallin Fury, I'm dead. Listen, man, I can't say this. Oh, they gave away more tickets than they sold, bro. Hey, I said it first on Sierra Elf. She just did a live, guys. Check her out. Listen, she love boxing, talk boxing, support boxing, crazy. I said it on her channel. I said it. Tyson Fury versus Otto Wallin sold 3 tickets and 4 EBT swipes. And the EBT swipes could not total past $15.75, or else they had to put some back. We're going to have to talk about that. Let's see, Caroline, wait and see how he fights against Ruiz. He was injured before the fight. Caroline, let me ask you a question. How come when I go live, why don't you ever call in? When you can call in, listen, you can do the phone number. You can call in, do Skype, add me on Skype, whatsblazing the sports. Listen, you can give the people a different point of view. You can say it live. You can call in and say it live. I am here. I am back at it like a crack at it, giving you boxing geek this work. Sarah asks, oh, no problem. Always, Sarah, whenever I'm at work, so whenever I see my phone go off, if I can click and listen in, I always do it, Sometimes I don't get a chance to chime in, but a lot of times I am listening. I make sure to leave a thumbs up. So, let's get to this work. If Joshua loses to Andy, go in there again, mentally unstable. Mentally, one day, Joshua is Captain Caveman, and son. And the next day, he's worried. Where did he go, George? Where did he go? He's mentally unstable right now. He's unstable. He's unstable. And remember this, guys. I do not want to see Joshua retire. I do not believe as of right now we have enough known popular heavyweights that can keep heavyweight boxing sustained. I would like to see him stay in there, but I have to say this. If Joshua goes in there and get that head woolly lump one more time and he loses to Andy, I think he needs to set out at least a year. I think he needs to say, you know what, I lost my second loss. I need to go home, rethink things, take some time away from the sport. I'll be back. I don't know when I'll be back, but just let me go back to the drawing board and I'll return. And that way, when he come back after a year, people will be anticipating his return. If he completely retires, like an old man who worked till he's 75 years old at a machine factory. His body finally had enough. And he gives up. His legacy, his history, his mark on a heavyweight division would be a bad one. It would be a stain. It would be like a woman wearing a white dress and get black ink on her white dress. It would be a stain. And not a good one. Let me see. Frank West says in Carolina, Andy is confident right now. AJ lost his heart. Ex-Virginians, injured or not. Parker fought 10 or 11 rounds with a concussion. No excuses. Okay. Let's get this work, man. You know, here. I'm going to say this one thing about Eddie, and I'm going to jump on to Tyson Fury. Hey, Tyson Fury's sales was so bad. They typically will let an automated machine counter because there's so many. They had somebody do it by hand. No, I do it. Hey, I count them. It take me 30 minutes to count them up. It's only 15 total tickets. All right, but guys, ladies and gentlemen, Joshua supporters and non-supporters, I'm only going to throw this out there. If you catch this softball layup, it's up to you. If it drops by your side, it's cool. All right? Here's what I'm saying. All right? I'm saying this. I believe, and I could be wrong, but I believe Eddie Hearn chose Saudi Arabia. Not because it's a neutral ground. It is not. Not because it is a ground that heavily favors Joshua either, even though it does favor Joshua way more than Andy. I believe personally Eddie Hearn is fighting in Saudi Arabia for a just in case. So basically, just in case Joshua lose, I'm going to get my last bang for my buck. Basically, I'm cashing the fuck out if he loses. But if he wins, everything works out. Bam, right? Everything works out. But Eddie Hearn has said on more than one occasion, talking about Joshua needs to get it. Joshua needs to stop talking about this. We as fans have saw the videos. If you are a Joshua fan, do me a favor. Don't ignore the warning sign. The warning signs is right in front of you. It's right in front of you. Don't ignore the warning signs and go into head-on traffic. And then once you get hit with it, talking about, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. If this sign says, do not enter, and you enter and get head-on collision, I don't know what happened. I don't know. It's because you didn't read the signs. The signs are right there. These signs are right there. Joshua said, basically, he lost his motivation. He said he lost his passion. He wanted to talk to the great gods of boxing to get his passion back. Joshua, this is what he's saying. When Joshua watched the Black Panther movie and he saw, the Black Panther take the herb. And then when he took the herb, he got a chance to talk to the ancestors in the tree. Joshua was out there in Africa looking for this herb for real. He was trying to take this herb. He was in there taking all kind of herbs. He got high as fuck, but he didn't find that one herb that can take him to talk to the ancestors in boxing so he can talk to the greats and find out to them how they get his passion back. Joshua watched this movie. I think the movie is called Field of Dreams. Joshua, the movie says something like, if you build it, they will come. So Joshua's like, shit, man, maybe I can get my passion back. So he went to several different random fields and tractors, and he was listening. Now, he heard the wind. The wind said to him, if you believe, your passion will come. And then out of nowhere, the wind said, not psych, gotcha. You know? Eddie Hearn, just in case you don't make it. Expert Genius, Eddie Hearn, just in case you don't make it home tonight, I'm going to make love to you the last time, baby. They also said they need AJ was hurt. They knew AJ was hurt and still didn't want to stop the fight. Yes, Caroline, think about this. Hear me out. His head trainer, who many people have been calling for Joshua needs to change. And I'm being honest. I truly believe that Joshua should change his head trainer. The reason I believe this is because Joshua has more than once complained about how it's difficult for him to fight shorter fighters. He just can't figure it out. And the question is, it's not up to Joshua to figure out. That's why he pays a fucking trainer to prepare him so he doesn't have to figure it out, and he's supposed to go in there and execute the game plan. But yet he has a trainer that wasn't able to figure it out, didn't even try to figure it out, didn't even tell him about, and put his man out there and got it. And he said he knew his man had a concussion. He said he knew his man was looking like, Tevin Former and shit by the eyes. He knew it. And he sent him back out there. He sent the man he knew he had a concussion back out there to get hit in the head again. Come on, Caroline. Come on now. Exactly, Franny. Okay. Let me see, Caroline. Plus, Frankie, it was illegal to put him in a fight as a concussion. Okay, yep. Oh, no, hold on. Only about 9 days. Hold on. We ain't talking about that old. I don't know if he got a concussion beforehand or not. Let me see what Frank said. Carolina, if he had a concussion, his team didn't care about his health. I knew about them saying he had a concussion during the fight, not before the fight. See, I don't want to make those excuses and take away from Andy Ruiz. I'm not going to do it. Joshua said he did not. Joshua disputed the rumors of anything happening in camp. His camp disputed those rumors. His head trainer said, listen, after that shot in the 3rd round, and guys, I can believe it. If you see, watch how the shot landed that put him down. First, it was a left hook that bucketed him, and then the right hook kind of hit him on the top of the head a little bit, and that shot probably gave him a concussion. And his trainer said, listen, I know all signs. I knew he had a concussion. Instead of his trainer stopping the fight, right? Think about this. If his trainer would have stopped the fight, yes, Joshua would have lost. But all the fans would have blamed the trainer. Everyone would have pointed fingers at the trainer. The trainer would have been the bad guy. People would have said that Joshua was on his way to win. But by the trainer sending his man out there who already got trauma to the brain to take more trauma to the brain, that shit was fucking sickening. You was playing with this man's life. You wanted to get a win so bad that you send a man out there who can't think right to think right against a man who's thinking right. Listen. We gotta talk this talk. Eddie Hearn sold. Eddie Hearn is trying to cash out right now. Eddie Hearn knows something up. Eddie Hearn is trying to pep talk Joshua. Trying to pep talk him. Come on, Joshua. Come on, get him. You can beat him, boy. You can beat him. Joshua is talking to him like a pet horse who's about to race, petting him on his side and shit. Come on, boy. You can do it. Yeah, go out there and get him, champ. Come on, go get yours. Those are your best, champ. Those are your belts, Joshua. Those are yours. Joshua, go ask him, can you hold him and take a picture with him, Joshua? He's trying to pep talk Joshua. But Joshua is consistently showing us signs. He is showing us signs that, yes, I'm going to go out there and fight. Yes, I'm going to try. But I'm letting you guys know that something is not quite right. You know, my love, my passion is not quite there. You know, my heart is not quite there. You know. But so Eddie Hearn should have done everything in his possible to try to get this fight in Cardiff. Because I'm telling you right now, if they'd have paid Andy Ruiz whatever money they're paying him now to fight in Saudi Arabia, to fight in Cardiff, Andy Ruiz would have did it. The difference would have been is that Joshua would have been surrounded by 80, 90,000 fucking Brits screaming, oh, 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 sweet Caroline, bop, 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 good times never seem so good, so good, so good, so scratch that record, because Eddie Hearn, in my opinion, is cashing out on his cash cow. Eddie Hearn got a tip that the stock is about to drop, and he's trying to sell his stock before the stock drops. Now, if some kind of way the stock survives and goes back up, hey, at least he did the right thing to make the most bang for his buck. You think this fight in Saudi Arabia is really for Joshua? You think Joshua really wants this fight in Saudi Arabia? I mean, listen, that's a question for all you Joshua fans that catch this video live or catch this video after I am done. I just want to ask you this, and you can say to yourself, do you really think Joshua wants this fight in Saudi Arabia, or do you think Eddie Hearn wants this fight in Saudi Arabia? Do you think Joshua want to give the Saudi Arabians, seeing him fight in person, or do you think Eddie Hearn want to have the fight there for money? I mean, listen, just that right there lets you know. That right there lets you know. Now, if Anthony Joshua had not lost, Anthony Joshua coming off a great victory, and then they're fighting in Saudi Arabia, then maybe it could be a combination of both of them wanting to fight there for the money. But Anthony Joshua is coming off a loss. I'm sorry. He's not coming off a loss. Anthony Joshua is coming off getting his ass fucking kicked. Nike signs the size of a 12 print is on this man fucking back. He just got walked over like a welcome mat. Andy Ruiz knocked him down and walked over him and cleaned off his shoes like he walked through the huge pile of dog shit, and he didn't want to track none in the house, and the only thing that was near was Joshua's back. He walked over him. The only reason this fight is entertaining, it is not because it was competitive. It is because it was shocking to see Joshua get beat like that, and they want to see this fight again to see if it was a fluke that Joshua got waxed on and waxed the fuck off. That's it. That's it. Let me see. When AJ talks, Eddie listens. Dude that's supposed to give AJ the concussion confirmed it. Alright. I'm going to jump over to Tyson Fury real quick. While all that is still marinating. Listen, guys, I put some sauce on that. I got that. I'm going to come back to that subject, right? I'm going to come back to it. Just like when you do when you put some on the back eye, you come back on it, you open up the top, you take your little wooden spoon or whatever, you stir it around a little bit, put the pot back on it, right? So right now, I'll put the lid on the pot. About the AJ, may retire. I'm going to put it on the back eye for a minute. All right, I already stirred it with the wooden spoon. I'm making sure nothing's sticking to the bottom, okay? I got this, all right? I know it smells good. I know you want to eat it now. Hold on. Hold on. Wait until it's done. Frank West says Saudi Arabia is AJ's choice. I don't believe that, man. I believe that Eddie Hearn. But listen, I mean, you're entitled to that. I believe there's more Eddie Hearn doing. I believe it's more. Because here's the thing. This is why I believe that, Frank. It's because when Anthony Joshua was talking about it, Anthony Joshua said, listen, he basically don't want to have the fight in the USA no more. Whatever happened on the USA soil, that shit must have left a bad taste in his mouth. A bad taste, right? And he doesn't want to have the fight there. And he says that he understands that Andy really don't want to have it here. But he still wants to have it in Cardiff. When Joshua started talking about having that fight in Cardiff, this guy lit up like a fucking Christmas tree. He was smiling. He said, man, but what the people really needs, 70, 80, 90,000 people in Cardiff, that's what I really want. That's what he wanted. I have yet to hear Joshua talk with such excitement, such a kid, a Christmas tree time with present under it, light twinkle in his eye about fighting in Saudi Arabia. I have not seen that. I haven't seen it. Of course, right now he is saying that because the fight is there. You cannot badmouth a place. You have to sell it. Andy has to sell it at this point. Joshua has to sell it at this point because it needs to be a success. Nobody can down it because the fight is on. But before the fight got made, Joshua let you know where he wanted the fight at. It wasn't Saudi Arabia. It wasn't Mexico. It wasn't the U.S. It was in Cardiff. Visiting Saudi Arabia and fighting in Saudi Arabia is different. It's different. Think about this. Joshua is coming off a loss. His brains are like eggs. Them bitches are scrambled. His mind is not 100% there. He's mentally is weak. I'm just saying, man. I think he just didn't want it in America because Ruiz wanted it there. It was a way to upset. Let me see. Can't we see this? Upset. Can't we see that last word? Upset him because he would not agree to the UK. Listen, if they would have threw the same amount of money at Andy Ruiz to fight in the UK, then fighting like he threw at him to fight in Saudi Arabia, he would have did it. Now here we go. Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, who honestly I think, listen, when it's coming to fighting, there's a lot of things Tyson Fury does that I like. A lot of things that I'm like, wow, somebody this fucking big and tall can move and jab and do the things he do. There's a lot of things that I like about Tyson Fury. This is not about that. To me, this is right here. To me, is letting you know you cannot just go out and fight any fucking body and expect the public to eat it up. When you fight both of your fights back to back in Vegas, both of your fights, and both of your fights have struggled in sales, it's letting you know you just can't fight anybody. See, they were hoping that Tyson Fury fights would have been successful, which means they would have had more bragging rights when they fought Wilder. Listen, I can fight anybody and sell Wilder in your own country. He can't do that shit now. He fought Tom Schwartz. The only person that know Tom Schwartz is the Jedis, and they don't claim him. and Otto Wallin, who sold 3,000 and some tickets. Those tickets probably altogether couldn't pay for the 2 cuts that Tyson Fury had to be tended to. Listen, man, I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. This is a realization for not just Tyson Fury, but for Bob. The guy that you got, that you're paying millions of dollars to, your first 2 events, in my opinion, would not be a return on his investment. It would not be. It would not be a positive return for an investment. That would be in the red. And you can imagine, even by them putting, oh my gosh, it is a great thing. It is an amazing thing that Top Rank did not try to put Fury versus Otto Wallin on US pay-per-view. That bitch would have flopped. That bitch would have barely flopped. It would have barely flopped. Let me see. Expert, I have my degree in Oxford and I am a doctor that works with traumatic brain injuries. Caroline, then you might want to have Joshua come see you. Frank West, when Eddie Hearn started talking about having it in the UK before Saudi Arabia came about, that's when you seen the change in AJ. Whenever the boss man wants it, remember that. Expert, yeah, Hearn made it a point not to be in the USA. AJ wanted the same spot. Listen, we're gonna probably disagree on this. Even though Eddie Hearn says that, to me, he's just saying Joshua has the last say by blaming things on Joshua. That's what it looks like to me. Because right after the fight, listen, he made Joshua look fucking bad. If you are a Joshua fan, Eddie Hearn makes Joshua look fucking bad a lot of times. Because when he first lost to Andy Ruiz, and Joshua said the fight should be right back in New York, Madison Square Garden. And then that is the first place you rule out. You like, what the fuck? Like, come on. That's the first place you said the fight should be at. It's the first place that you ruled out. And we're gonna act like this didn't happen, huh? We're gonna act like this didn't happen at all, huh? This didn't happen? This wasn't said? Joshua didn't come out and say that the fight should be right back in Madison Square Garden, right back in New York, so he can right his wrong? That was the right thing. When Joshua said that, I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of respect for that. A lot of respect that this man is willing to go back there. And I'm telling you right now, if Joshua would have went back to New York and beat Andy in the same fucking ring he lost in, Joshua fan base would have grew even more. His respect level just for doing that by people that didn't even like him would have been like, I respect that. But by the U.S. being the first place you ruled out. Question, why was the U.S. the first place that Joshua ruled out? Monte Solo in the building. What's blazing, homie? I didn't like how AJ said it should be in New York. Then he talked about UK. I'm okay with Saudi Arabia because boxing is a world sport and it's good to see it in different countries. First play they said was UK in the ring after right. Well, no, the first place in the ring, Eddie Hearn said UK. That's not what Joshua said. Eddie Hearn said the rematch in the UK, not Joshua. Joshua stated that the fight should be, if it's up to him. Remember, he's the boss man, remember? I told you, Eddie Hearn keeps Joshua in a position that whenever something goes south, he's under the fucking bus. Remember, think about this, Caroline. Oh, sweet Caroline, think about this. Remember when Dylan White and Joshua was in negotiations for the second fight, and Dylan White walked away talking about the money and so the money and what was it, drug testing? What did Eddie Hearn say? Eddie Hearn said, I told Joshua that he wouldn't like it. I told Joshua, but Joshua said go ahead and offer it anyway. He threw Joshua under the bus. A promoter is there to take all the heat. Just like a lawyer takes all the heat for you, so it's not on you. A promoter takes all the hate, so it's not on you. Anthony Joshua has been put in a position time after time after time of being the fall man. And I'm telling you, if Joshua loses his second fight with Andy Ruiz, if he loses his second fight, watch how fast Eddie Hearn start distancing himself from Joshua. Minnesota said, you called me a work T-Dub, can't comment much, but let's get them likes up. Listen, let's run them likes. But he had double concussions. Let me see, what did I miss? Where do you see the double concussions at, Caroline? Sweet Caroline, bop, bop, bop. On good times never seem so good, so good, so good. And remember, I personally don't want to see Joshua retire. I only give you my honest opinion. That's it. And if your opinion is different from it, cool. If it matches, cool. Either way, let's talk about it. You know my slogan, when it's go time. Eddie Hearn, Anthony Joshua promoter, stated if Joshua wins or loses against Andy Ruiz, he may retire. He may hang his gloves up and walk that long walk with his head down off into Never Never Land. If Joshua beats Andy Ruiz and win back his belts and retire, I'm telling you right now, that is going to look very bad on Joshua's career. Even though he's leaving off a win, that will look fucking horrible. And imagine this, Saudi Arabia does favor Joshua more than Andy. Let's say Andy is actually, most people believe, before they go to the scorecards, that Andy won that fight. But because it went all 12 rounds, the judges automatically give it to Joshua, even though to most people it may be a robbery or a controversial decision. And if Joshua retires off of some fuck shit like that, and he doesn't face Deontay Wilder, so Wilder can have, a 12-buck antler on his wall, or fight Tyson Fury, or rematch Andy Ruiz, or fight his mandatory in Usyk, that will look bad. But now, if he loses to Andy and he retires, it doesn't look as bad. Even though I don't want him to retire, I'd rather him take a year off. If Joshua loses to Andy, right, and he takes a year off, gets a whole new fucking team. Get rid of the quarterback you got now, because he ain't teaching you shit. This is like, his head trainer is like a learn to go program. He's learning on the go and trying to teach somebody while he's learning it. But he's not learning it. If his trainer is setting the curve, then that curve is fucked up. AJ needs to fight Wilder and Fury. I think they both beat him, but he has the power to beat, what's the last word? Beat them too, so they be good fights. If he retires, I'm good. Second impact syndrome is a very rare condition in which a second concussion occurs before a first concussion is properly healed, causing rapid and severe severe brain swelling, and often catastrophic results. They were selling tickets for EBT money, bro. Listen, man, you talking about Tyson Fury, bro? Listen, bro. If you ain't saw the subject, read the subject line. It says, Tyson Fury versus Otto Wallin sold a grand total of 3 tickets and 4 EBT swipes. The swipes could not total more than $15.25. If it did, something has to be put back. Bitch, I want my money. Listen, but realistically, I think it was somewhere around the neighborhood of, was it 3,700 total? Now, guys, there could be tickets sold and tickets given away, because it's a 20,000 arena, and I believe only 3,700 and some tickets or seats were actually filled. Guys, this fight could have been held in a high school gym. This fight could have been held in a decent sized high school gym. Then it would have reached capacity. What Carolina say? Which is why the team is so sick to have keep him fighting. Okay. Listen. Tyson Fury is a good fighter, but he gotta stop fighting bumps. Tyson Fury needs, I'm telling you right now, even if Tyson Fury did not want to fight Deontay Wilder next, Bob is gonna force him into a mega fight. He has no choice. Tyson Fury has fought 2 fucking Uber drivers. One of them may have been a Swift or some shit, I don't know. A Lyft driver. 1 Uber and 1 Lyft. I don't know. They got called. Somebody called an Uber to a boxing ring. The Uber showed up and said, "Did somebody call me?" They put a mouthpiece in his fucking mouth, put some gloves on him, and said, "Bitch, go in there and survive 12 rounds." One of them name was Thomas Schwartz, and the other one was named Otto Wallin. But little did they know, Otto Wallin was training in his backyard, played kickboxing with his friends, and landed some good punches and cut Tyson Fury up. And the grand total of ticket sales probably wasn't even enough money to pay for the doctor bill to heal those 2 cuts over his right eye. Tyson Fury needs Deontay Wilder. Tyson Fury needs a big fight. He needs it. He needs it. Because 2 lackluster fights that could not sell out in Aldi's, which everything is there cheap. He needs Deontay Wilder. He needs a major fight. There's no big fighters on ESPN heavyweights. There's none. Either he has to go to the Zone, or he has to go to Wilder. And since Bob has been going to Eddie Hearn, it's possible they can do some work. But I don't think outside of Joshua, Eddie Hearn, well, I guess Dylan White would be a big fight for Tyson Fury in the UK. But Dylan White is still trying to figure out if Dylan White took D-ball or not. Hold on, who's going to fight? What am I missing? Tom Uber and Otto Lyft. Hey, I like that. Hey, he fought Tom Uber and Otto Lyft. Everybody knows Lyft is better than Uber. Good one, ex-Virginians. Look at that, ex-Virginians took it around with it. Hold on, I can't get a... Fuck, how'd I get rid of this shit? The fuck? I'm not trying to type. How'd I back out of there? Okay, I'm done. All right, there we go. All right. Who do you think Dylan White is going to fight? I don't know. They're talking about getting Dylan White on the Joshua undercard. But I'm gonna be honest, man. Something is going to. This is my honest opinion. Dylan White is going to be cleared to fight. The B sample is never going to be brought up. I mean, it's never going to be presented. The B sample don't take this goddamn long to come back. If it does come back, I bet any kind of money It's somebody else cleared B sample, not his. Because how do you test for D-ball on one test? D-ball. D-ball. This is not like, you know, when they tested and had some dirt off of whoever working inside their clinic fingers. This had D-ball. I mean, unless that person who took his test just did some D-ball himself and had some residue on the needle when they drew it. But listen, man, I don't know. Dylan White may come back. I can't remember who they say he might fight. Dylan White actually did a video today. He put it on Instagram of him training. Dylan White did a live video today on Instagram with him and Chisora. I am looking forward to seeing Chisora versus Parker. I like Chisora. Chisora talks a lot of shit. He seemed very real. Chisora seemed like somebody that would make me laugh like Kevin Hart, and he's not even trying to make me laugh like Kevin Hart. AutoZone did his thing. Hey, AutoZone tuned his ass up, huh? AutoZone told Tyson Fury, I know what you need. What? Alternator. Boom. Hit him with that alternator. Now go get a water pump and fix that leak. B sample mean nothing. It would be the same as an A sample anyway. Exactly. And there was one time that I did not want to see Dylan White fight Deontay Wilder. But now, I'm not going to lie. Before the A sample, before all this, I want to see Dylan White versus Deontay Wilder. I'm going to be even honest. I almost want to see Deontay Wilder versus Dylan White more than I want to do Tyson Fury at this point. See, Tyson Fury should have fought Deontay Wilder right after that fight. Everything was piping fucking hot. The tea was right out the stove. All you had to do was pour it up. We would have had at least 2 cups. But listen, time has went by. Joshua lost. Andy won. Fury fought 2 bums. He probably found 2 bums competing for the same corner with a different can in each hand. Even though we would watch the second fight, it doesn't have the same feel as if it would have happened sooner. And I'm going to be real, I'm going to be honest again. Even though I think Ortiz is a dangerous fucking fight for Wilder. Dangerous. This fight would have been better right after Wilder and him had a close fight to a knockout. You know, see, when you're dealing with boxing, man, you're dealing with time. And time is of the essence. You got to capitalize on the time. Let me see. Expert Genius, they want this to blow over and everybody forget about the B sample like Fury. What is it? Nodulone case for Hammer and Klitschko. You know what? I remember something like that. I probably butchered that name or whatever that is. But I don't remember the type of drug. And listen, you know what? It did blow over. Remember? They said something like, oh, since he's been out the sport for 2 years and he probably would have had it 2 years, so shit just blew over. But the thing is, Dylan White shit finna blow over in only a few months. They trying to get Dylan White to fight in the same calendar year with no punishment. No punishment. The only punishment I think Dylan had is the WBC basically suspended his mandatory. They said he's good to fight. He can fight anybody he wants. D-ball or not in his A sample. He can fight anybody he wants. AutoZone gave him some fresh oil and new spark plugs. Hey, listen, AutoZone tune that ass up, man. AutoZone tune that ass up. And then, once he caused that leak on Tyson Fury, AutoZone sold him some windshield wiper blades so he can wipe that blood out of his goddamn eyes. Yeah, that Ortiz fight ain't no joke. No, man. It's not. He is still cleared to fight. He is not banned. No, he's not. He's not banned. No, I didn't say that. He's not banned at all. He can fight. He can fight. But isn't it crazy that I'm being honest, I don't know if anybody talked about a B sample with Miller. Everybody talk about Miller test for 4 different drugs, right? I don't hear, maybe I missed it, but I don't remember people saying that Miller's A sample and B sample was bad. I just remember them saying that he failed, and they found at least maybe 3 or 4 different things, and then New York suspended him for maybe 6 months, I don't know, or 4 months. I don't know how long New York suspended him or whoever suspended him. I don't remember. But with Dylan White, it was all about this B sample. And now there's no talk about this B sample. I believe they're supposed to have a hearing next month to find out what's going to happen. But I'm telling you right now, if that B sample is not out right now, that B sample is never fucking coming out. It's never coming out. If it's not out right now, I can bet you any kind of money. Put your Cash App up. The B sample will not be out before Dylan White have his hearing next month, which is only a week away. You know? But I don't know, man. Looks like Dylan White's going to come back. If he does come back, listen. We know how boxing is. We know how it is. It will be bullshit. We still will watch it. That's just being honest. And they know it. They know it's bullshit. They know it'll be fuckery. They know it's not equal. They know that they would treat certain fighters like they kill somebody and try to ban them for 6 months to a year. And then for other fighters, all of a sudden, mysteriously, in my eyes, if the B sample never shows up, then you have to go off the A sample. Then you have to. If the B sample never shows up, we have to go off what we have. And that's your A sample tested for D-ball. That dirty Diana. Michael Jackson. Oh, you said they found the extra ones in the B sample. Oh, okay. See, I didn't remember that, Caroline. Thanks for telling me. She said, they said with Miller, they found the extra ones in the B sample. See, it was so much going on. I just kept hearing them talk about, what was the first thing they found in Miller's? It was like GW 15 and 16 or something like that, right? And then all of a sudden it came out that it was HGH, and then it was HGH, GW, and like something else, man. Big Baby Miller, listen. See, people think that, oh, you only give Dylan White shit because he's from the UK. No. And wrong. X on you, wrong. Go back and watch my I give Big Baby Miller all type of shit. He's from New York. I give Charles Martin, the chosen one, the demigod, the immortal one. Do you know this man is originally from St. Louis? He still comes back to St. Louis. And T-Dub is in St. Louis. St. Louis is not a huge city. I give Charles Martin more shit than a toilet bowl can handle. If you're flush, it will overflow. Somebody get the mop. White fell June 15. They were notified July 17. Until this day, the B sample hasn't been tested. Bro, I'm telling you, man. That is some crazy shit, bro. Guys, do me a favor, smash the like button. It's your boy T. That was Blazing Sports. I hope you guys enjoy this. This is my snack pack lunchtime edition. Where I'm at, it is lunchtime. Well, it's actually a little bit past lunchtime, but it's when I take lunch. I take lunch at 1:30 Central Standard Time, which is 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 Pacific. And if you are on UK time, it'll probably be what is it? Maybe like 6:30 or something your time? Maybe 6:30. Right now it's probably like 7:30. But guys, do me a favor, if you have not, and I know you remember because your boy T-Dub started talking, I start rapping, you start bobbing your head and listening to it, I get it. But take this time right now to please subscribe to the channel if you have not. Make sure you share it on all your social media and boxing media. Hit the like button on your way out and tell a friend about your boy T-Dub. Until the next time, this is your boy T-Dub even. And here is What's Blazing the Sports, bitch.